you can leave something for them.
Leave something. Yes.
And the good book also talks about that.
Yeah.
It says what? A good man leaves an inheritance for their children's children. So
yes.
Let's say even if you have $50,000 or $100,000 policy, you lose your life. At least whether is the wife or the husband who's left and the kids, they will have something to move on. They will have large sum of money to at least put into something, whether to a child's education or investment or start a business. All these will be able to just not just help our families, but also in our communities, and it's very important. Do you have any example to share about talk about people dying and family has to scrape to come out with money?
Definitely. That happens so much. Like, especially this year. I know personally of where we have had to contribute, to help bury, our loved ones this year. And it's really sad that when someone dies, we cannot, mourn their death. But we, as a family, we have to even just come together to get the money to bury that person. It's tough because, where you're supposed to be, remembering the person, and you're supposed to be, thinking of the good times, Lord, that you had with the person. The family then is thrown into, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, can you give? What can you give? This is what we have, and this is how much it costs, And sure, at the end of the day, we all, we all did come together, to help bury my loved one. But however, it's really tough that if you die and your mom have to, worry about how we're going to bury, my son or my daughter, or how we're going to bury my mom or whatever. So, and how are we going to even have food to feed the guests, or, that is not a time for that. So that is why it's very important to get. That is one of the reasons why it's important to have insurance. Second of all, it's just, something that we need to learn to leave an inheritance for our children, for our people to, be able to, close that gap, that socioeconomic status, that gap. We have not had an opportunity where, in our community where we've taken this serious. And it really is a serious thing. When you, the best thing that you can do for your family is when you, start a family, think about the ones that, that are going to come after, So this is just, just to let you know that, hey, it's best to go ahead, get a agent, a life insurance agent, And once you start your family, or once you, start having kids or whatever, so, that you wouldn't leave a burden for that person, but that they will be able to remember you and, the great footstep that you left them, or the foundation, you left them, because of, my father thought of me, he left this. Or because my mother thought of me, she left this. And now, we were taken from being, just living paycheck to paycheck to being able to actually have a little bit more freedom to dream, to breathe, or to so-called live the American dream.
and talking about that, in African community, when somebody dies, normally they say the people are crying because not just the person is dead, even society is not going to see the person again, but the problem is the money to take care of the expenses. And that's why most people cry because when they look at, hey, how are we gonna take care of this better, this cause of funeral and all that. But I think if you look at it, whether here in America and even in Africa in general, I think when we talk about life insurance, um, I don't think that's something that is even part of the culture in Africa. Really not. But I think moving forward with the 21st century economy, I think also African leaders also they have to incorporate that into the system, into the economy, where people will be able to at least buy some sort of insurance, whether it's a life insurance, a burial insurance. They might have it, I'm not sure, but it's not something that probably you hear people talk about that. Like here, you see the commercials on TV and people, hey, but back in Africa, I think we have to start with the individuals, families. When you take care of the family will be able to take care of the community, right? And the community will be able to take care of the state or the region or the county. And when the state is able to, or the county or the region is able to take care of itself, then they'll be able to take care of the country. And when you're able to take care of the country, then you take care of the world. You take care of the world. Then it becomes normal. Because
it's stages.
It's sad. It's very sad that, anytime somebody dies, and if you look at the people behind, and sometimes nothing left for the family, behind, whether it's the children or the wife or the husband. But at least, we pray that nobody dies, but it's a journey no matter what. Even if you live to be Methuselah, one day you're going to go. But when your time comes, what are you going to leave behind? That's what we are talking about. It's something we talk about that, we discuss, and we just want to share that, hey, we are not insurance agents.
No, we're not.
We don't sell insurance, but
no,
we
just
feel like it's something that we need to, it's an awareness we need to bring forth to the world and to the community and to the society and to the country or to the world, because it's very important. On that note, we're going to talk about the next episode. We're talking about life insurance. This is about a series about how are we able to close the gap.
Yes.
How are we closing the gap? We cannot close the gap overnight because we have 400 years of systemic injustice. And
discrimination.
I was reading Malcolm X's autobiography, and it was sad that he said his father was really a proponent of life insurance. And when his father died, at that time, the insurance company refused to pay. So, I read something about for the last 50 years or so, the people with life insurance, it keeps decreasing year by year. It keeps going down. So it's about time it has to go up. It's not, when you do this, it's not about you. It's about the generation behind. As the wisest man said, a good man leaves inheritance for his children's children, and you don't have to have all the mansions, and all the this and that, but at least
it's quite affordable too. And you can, so many different type of policies out there. You do not have to have so much of money to put down on life insurance. It's just something that is, very, very affordable. And I know the younger You actually, apply for it and sign up.